The Igbo man is not in charge of our political realm yet. For some reason, certain people have made it a convenience for them to be hated. So long as we keep hating the Igbos, so long as we keep conniving, ensuring that Igbos never have any political relevance in this country will never be good. If you are one of those that believe that Nigeria is going to be better than where it is now, I strongly believe that you should have a rethink. And to make it even more ironic is that these same Igbos that you are conniving to suppress will be going better. Let me tell you, in the light of this hike in fuel prices, hike in transport fares, rise in price of food, rise in price of commodities, rise in the cost of living, the Igbos are still the ones that are enjoying better than almost everybody that has. Let me start by saying this. If you are one of those that believe that Nigeria is going to be better than where it is now, I strongly believe that you should have a rethink, because I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't see it happening soon. And that is because for some reason, I think a lot, I've been saying this thing, but I've been pretending it's not there. But hard as I try, unfortunately, it's there. There seems to be a concerted resolve by a group of people who insists that Nigeria must remain this bad, because in its current state, it inadvertently benefits them. And in the future, when it comes to the point for us to pay back the excesses of our ineptitude, the burden will fall on the South. Now, don't get me wrong. I have come across certain Igbo traders, and trust me, some of these Igbo traders can be very annoying. Can be very, very, very annoying. But some of these people that come out to paint the Igbos as if they are the only tribe that we should hate, while the Fulanis destroy the country, while the group of the Tinubu Yorubas also bring their own share of destruction of this country, we tend to make it look as if we don't have our own fair share of criticism. We don't have our own share of our ineptitude. What I mean is this: the Igbo man is not in charge of our political realm yet. For some reason, certain people have made it a convenience for them to be hated. So I make bold to say this: so long as we keep hating the Igbos, this country will never be good. So long as we keep hating the Igbos, so long as we keep conniving, ensuring that Igbos never have any political relevance in this country will never be good. And to make it even more ironic is that these same Igbos that you are conniving to suppress will be going better. Let me tell you, in the light of this hike in fuel prices, hike in transport fares, rise in price of food, rise in price of commodities, rise in the cost of living, the Igbos are still the ones that are enjoying better than almost everybody that are suppressing them. Those that are saying Mile Dibo Fibo, I want you to check the life of those people and the life of the Igbos who say they shouldn't rule. One thing I have learned, one thing I have learned from the Igbos, which I just told in fact, part of the reason why I'm making this video is because of my younger brother. I have a younger brother at home. He should be around how many years now? 30? 29, 30 years. And every time I keep getting calls from the village that he goes to the village to disturb my father, that he wants to eat. That sometimes he goes, you know, all these village boys now, every family has it. One of those boys that are rascals, that every time they keep calling you to inform you. The boy, I said they should give him the phone. I said, oh, former, are you telling me that your father is 82? At this age, you want to still be depending on your father's pension, which is a little bit less than 70,000 naira. You want to be dependent. I say, if you're an Igbo boy, you would have left the house. An Igbo boy would have gone somewhere to go and survive and in fact, maybe if it's to sell handkerchief, but he will go and do something to survive on his own. An Igbo boy will not go depend on his 82-year-old man trying to fight for food. Even if you see an Igbo boy that is an Igbo smoker, instead of that Igbo smoker, he will still try to leave a name, a legacy for himself. In the fact that the only person that can change this country, I say it without any equivocation, is an Igbo man. Only Igbo man can change this country. All this Tinubu, Buhari, they play regional politics, northern politics, Yoruba politics. Peter Obi would have played for the first time, because Jonathan had played a national politics. Because when what Jonathan was doing, we from the south, we didn't understand it. Jonathan was playing a political administration that was 10-20 years ahead of our own realization, so we didn't know it. So if Peter Obi had come, we would have understood it. Because I know that one thing Peter Obi definitely would have done was to open the seaports that were in other regions. To leave the seaport alone in Lagos is hypocritical and pure economic bias and detrimental to the rest of us in the south, and southeast. But I will still maintain that the only people shortchanging themselves in politics are we from the south, because we have not even formed a bloc. The south does not want to work with the southeast. The southeast maybe wants to work with the south, but on a senior brother, junior brother level. And the south does not want that type of arrangement. And there lies the problem. So, I am not somebody who always say what will please you. I'm not wired that way. I'm also not Igbophobic. I don't hate Igbos for sure. But I will say it the way I see it. I could be wrong anyway, but that's how I see it.
You remember recently I said this in a video. I'm not the only one that have said it. A lot of people have seen it and they are saying it. They are speaking up. As far as Nigeria will not regard Igbo people, as far as Nigeria will continue to shabbily treat the Igbo people, Nigeria cannot move on. Yes. As far as Nigeria continually, politically sideline the Igbos, you can never move on. You understand? And let me tell you, the average Igbo man will always succeed. They have been built to. It is natural. It is from God. They have been built to survive. Now the country is facing serious hardship. We all are feeling it, but on the average, it is not the Igbo man that is suffering more. They are the ones that are living better, despite how things are. Yes, everybody is feeling it, but Igbos are still, you see, you had it. So, during the election, people are like, oh, Igbos, no, we will not give them any. They can't rule this country. See what your Baba is doing. You people do not know the secrets of success of every country. Igbos are the ingredients as far as Nigeria is concerned. Nigeria with this setup. Now, I'm not saying that Nigeria is God's making. But with the setup, how things are, including those maps, still, those Saudi maps, still as Nigeria. With this setup, there are people God made the salt, the ingredient that is required to now mix everything, make that food that you are cooking sweet. The moment you don't add that ingredient, that salt, that food cannot be sweet. It is what holds it together. But that is the same ingredient you are putting aside. No, we will not make use of this. You will not get a good food. Your food will not be tasty. It is natural. Now, look at what I'm saying. In the event of a breakup, there will be another salt. There is always a salt that makes that food okay. If there's a breakup and Nigeria, a new nation is formed, there is always the salt. It's in every nation. There is the salt of every nation. If you know this, it will be good for you. With the current setup, still having Igbo states map as part of Nigeria, Igbos are the salt of this country. I'm sorry to say, it is not our making. It is divine. It is God that arranged it. We are not bragging about it. It's natural. It is beyond just having an Igbo man as a president. After all, those who had their people as president, how are they better? How are they better? It goes beyond that. Once Igbos are not properly, after the war, that was 1970. The war ended as a no victor, no vanquished. They said, okay, Igbos are back as Nigerians after 3 years. And, on that note, they plan to properly accept Igbo, assimilate Igbo people into the system. But that wasn't the case. They have shared Nigerian companies. A lot of things are wrong. The seaports, we are not supposed to only have seaport in Lagos, because Lagos is not the only place we have waters, navigable waters. But it is only Lagos seaport that is fully functional. Other seaports are not fully functional. And who are the movers? Who are the most importers? But you don't want to dredge the Niger. You don't want to make Port Harcourt Port and Calabar Port fully functional. You want to strangulate that side and the southeast economy. Nigeria is supposed to be a capitalist country. And until Nigeria go full capitalist, Nigeria cannot survive. And the people who are holding the retail market of this country is the people you are trying to do away with, marginalize. You cannot make a headway. And that is that salt I'm telling you about. You want to do away with the salt in your food. It will not be tasty. Food did not require sugar to be tasty. The food you cook, it requires salt. And in this setup, current setup, we Igbos are the salt. Maybe in another setup, Kenya has a salt that is in their nation. And until they use that salt, their nation cannot get to where it's supposed to go. Every nation has a salt. In this case of this setup, if there's a breakaway, you will find another salt. You've heard what he said. You think you're doing the Igbo man. Igbo man has been built to survive. That is how God built them. You will feel the most pain and not the Igbo people. There's a common saying in Igbo, onye ji onye na ji onwe. You're actually holding yourself down. Why are we buying cement today this costly? Apart from before Tinubu came in. You know why? An Igbo man came in, took over the business. Cement was cheaper. Then they started the Dangote monopoly to strangulate Igbo business. And what happened? So it is not just for an Igbo man to be president of this country, but marginalization of the southeast or the eastern region, former eastern region, will always pull this country back. Because you are limiting capitalism. Yet you say you practice capitalism, but you are limiting it. You are not making proper use of the resources in your country. And that is it. That is all I have for you. Plus karma and cause. Because you must redress. You must seek redress. And you must say sorry to Igbo people. Not just assimilating them, accepting them back into the system properly. The problem of Nigeria, for me too, is also spiritual. You must say sorry. Look at the people who run Nigeria today. And you think with Peter Obi, as a president, things will be like this. I'm not saying Peter Obi will automatically and quickly change everything, but you know certainly that it takes somebody that is not corrupt to fix this country. Aside that, several of our expenditures, the high spending would have been cut down. You know that for sure. And you think there will be no improvements. Well, I'll leave it at this. Use your head. If you ignore the salt that is good for that food will not be sweet. Bye-bye for now.